The 1980s introduced me to anime with the likes of Robotech and Voltron. Of course, back then I wasn't aware of the distinction between anime and cartoons, so all the animated shows I watched were just cartoons to me, and it would be disingenuous for me to say otherwise, therefore I can't really say that I considered myself a fan of anime back then. It wasn't until about 1991 or 92 when I actually learned what the differences between Japanese and American animation were. This is due in large part to my older brother borrowing bootleg copies of anime on VHS from our neighbor, and also being able to rent videos from our local video rental store. Being able to watch newly released anime on VHS like Guyver, Vampire Hunter D, Fist of the North Star, and Ranma 1/2 really helped to solidify my love and passion for anime. Well, in the case of my younger self, it was probably more of an obsession, to the point that watching just wasn't enough. I needed more information, and with the internet in its commercial infancy and anime still being relatively niche, info wasn't as readily available and at times pretty limited. So I sought it out the next best way: magazines. The one that I gravitated towards was Animerica. While not the first of its kind, Animerica magazine quickly became one of the most, if not the most prominent anime magazines of the 1990s. Published by Viz Communications Incorporated, now known as Viz Media, the inaugural issue, number 0, would premiere in November of 1992. According to Viz founder Seiji Horibuchi, it was created with a sincere belief in the need for cross-cultural communication, that which makes our lives richer and helps people to understand each other better. Viz has been introducing Japanese popular culture to American fans by publishing English-language adaptations of Japanese comics since 1987. And now we're expanding to another aspect of Japan's popular culture: animation. Animerica's unique position as a conduit between Japan and America gives readers the chance to access information once available only to an elite few. Behind-the-scenes interviews with the creators themselves provide an invaluable insider's view to the anime and manga industries in Japan. Animerica would be available on a monthly basis, starting with issue number 1 in March of 1993 until June of 2005. The contents of Animerica would include reviews, manga, the aforementioned interviews, as well as news related to then current and upcoming releases of anime and other media. To budding fans like myself, this was exactly what I had been looking for: a magazine with well-written, informative articles and reviews, manga that was enticing to read, and insightful interviews with creators and other figures involved in the industry. I kept up with Animerica regularly by reading issues at my local comic book shop, and bought issues sparingly whenever I had the money. Reading it was always a pleasure for me because I got to learn more about anime while also being entertained. The writers of the articles really knew how to relay the information in a way that felt conversational, whether it was drawing a parallel with something current or a pop cultural reference. Being able to discover the existence of other anime within genres I already liked was awesome, even if they were shows or movies that would never see a release outside of Japan. Good shows too, like Tatsunoko's Tenku Senki Shurato, which was never licensed here. My favorite part of Animerica though was the interviews. Getting the inside scoop from a creator as to where they came up with the idea for an anime or manga, or who or what inspired them, was really fascinating. By 1998, anime had already crossed the threshold into mainstream, and due to Animerica's success, it was no surprise that Viz would capitalize by launching a sister magazine that year, Animerica Extra, which would primarily be a monthly manga digest with related news, articles, etc. However, Animerica Extra's run would end in 2004. By this time, Animerica itself had already been going through a steady decline in its sales. This was probably due in large part to the explosion of the internet. Information was now broader and easier to access, and the emergence of competing magazines like New Type USA didn't help either. So in April of 2005, Animerica was repackaged into 2 separate, lighter versions that were free at select bookstores, as well as a third variation that would be available exclusively at some anime and manga conventions. These contained fewer articles, and the page counts were significantly less than their predecessor. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to come across or get a hold of any of these particular issues of Animerica. The last monthly subscription issue to be published was in June of 2005, officially signaling the end of Animerica's run. Animerica's various contributions to the anime scene in North America during its 12 years of existence can't be overstated, and for that, it should never be forgotten. That's why I'll always remember Animerica. Thanks so much for watching, and if you liked the video, please be sure to thumbs it up below or comment, and please feel free to take a look at some of the other videos I have here on the channel.